The AC Show, officially brought to you by mortgage professional Rebecca Casey with DLC Origin Mortgages. Rebecca has a 16-year relationship with real estate, which helps her understand the entire process of home buying, not just the mortgage part of the transaction. And she was recently nominated one of the top 40 young gun mortgage brokers in Canada. Rebecca is an incredibly caring individual who loves working with young families looking to get into their first homes, as well as experienced buyers. She works with clients from all over and has flexible hours to help cater to all types of people. You'll get top-tier rates, products, and service from Rebecca Casey, mortgage professional with DLC Origin Mortgages.
It's the Andrew Christopher Show with Andrew Christopher, your host. It's the Andrew Christopher Show, but really we call it the AC Show. Yeah, we really call it the AC Show. Really call it the AC Show. It's the AC Show. It's the AC Show with AC, your host. Check it out.
What is up, you guys? I want to start off by saying I hope everyone is doing well and taking care of themselves and their families. We're going to be talking about coronavirus, COVID-19. I guess the actual virus is called SARS-CoV-2, and the disease it can cause is COVID-19, and it's a type of coronavirus, just to clear that up right away. I'm not going to try and be too preachy here, but if you're listening to this, obviously you kind of care what I think, or at least like hearing what I'm thinking about. And believe it or not, there's still a lot of people out there in this world, in this country, even in this province, who don't really think this is such a big deal. And maybe I can change one or two of their minds in this episode, and that would be great. Because this is something that I think we need to take seriously. Obviously, I think it all started coming to a head, oddly enough, when the major sports started getting shut down. I think that woke up a lot of people into taking this a bit more seriously, myself included. I always was keeping an eye on it and was somewhat worried. And then when I saw these big, gigantic businesses start shutting down, it really lights a fire under your ass to start looking into things so that you can make a few more informed decisions. I think the first point I want to touch on is a lot of people understand that this virus is probably not going to affect them as a middle-aged man or woman who's pretty healthy. And so that's one of these factors that's making people think not such a big deal. A lot of people heard some information a month ago, maybe even 2 months ago about this virus, and they are clinging on to that information as all they need to make their decisions, which with a new virus like this that we've never seen before is a very poor way of thinking, because it's evolving and all the information and the numbers are growing and changing every day, every hour pretty much, that people are studying this disease. And you can't hang your hat on something you learned last month about this, let alone last week. You need to keep yourself up to date and informed, especially in regards to things like the fatality rate or the number of cases that there actually are in the world. These numbers really don't mean much right now because it's so new and the cases are still being found and the fatality rate is fluctuating like crazy. The fatality rate right now is much higher than it is with the common flu, which is a lot of what I hear people who don't believe this is too serious talking about. Right now, it's much higher. The reason it's much higher is because a lot of cases where people are getting better haven't been reported yet. So that number is going to come down, but it's still going to be substantially higher than the fatality rate of the common flu. But this fatality rate thing shouldn't be the big worry on everyone's mind. It shouldn't be the end-all, be-all. One of the big issues is how easily this disease spreads and is passed on from one person to the next. It's much easier to attract than the common flu. It's exponentially growing day by day and week by week, and the hospitals and the healthcare are not prepared to treat as many people as they're going to need to. They don't have the staffing, and they don't even have the equipment. Things like masks they need or respirators are in very short supply because so many people are flooding to the hospitals with symptoms, worrying that they have this disease or they actually do, and they need serious care for it. Now, if the hospital is filled with people who think or do have COVID-19, where are people going to go who are sick with other things, who are terminally ill and need help, or who are in accidents and there's no beds for them? And in Italy, what's been happening is they've been treated in the hallways or in the parking lots like it's a world war going on. And doctors are having to decide who gets what equipment, who's going to live, and who's going to die. Yes, this is halfway across the world in Italy, but it's the same disease, it's the same virus going around, and we are no better prepared than Italy was for this to happen in our country. So I'm not sure why we should expect any different of an outcome unless everyone starts doing their own part in terms of social distancing and taking proper care of themselves to boost your immune system in hopes of not attracting it, and the social distancing in hopes of not spreading it. A lot of people are talking about how this is just something that affects the elderly or people with pre-existing health conditions. It does hit older people harder, for sure. Even just on that topic, we all have older people in our lives, parents or grandparents, that we really care about. Nobody wants to see them passing away. So we shouldn't dismiss that just because you think it's only going to affect elderly people. But the reality is that's not the case. Thank God there have been no reports of children getting this disease or passing away. I think that is something we can all cling on to for some peace of mind, that our kids do seem to be relatively safe from this. They'll still attract the virus and they can still pass it on, but they themselves aren't at risk of dying, as far as we know. Some more people who are at risk, other than the elderly, are people who smoke, people who are obese. And again, the older you are, it doesn't mean you have to be 70, 80, 90. I'm talking 60, 50. There's cases of 40-year-olds who've passed away from this. And it depends on your overall health, how strong your immune system are, and how strong your lungs are. And that's not always something we know about ourselves. We don't know how strong our lungs are all the time if we haven't been tested or if we haven't been sick. So you guys, it's not something you just place on the elderly saying, it's not going to affect me, I'm a pretty healthy guy. It's really tough to tell if it would affect you or not. And if you want to take that chance, I guess ultimately all this is up to you in what you want to do to help the situation or what you want to do to help yourself for peace of mind. But to think that it's only something that's going to affect the elderly is not a smart way to look at this. I should probably point out, I'm not a doctor. I think a lot of you know that. I'm a musician. Where I'm getting a lot of my info from is research and listening to experts in the healthcare fields and experts on pandemics and viruses and influenzas. And really, if we don't have faith in these experts that they are being truthful or actually know what they're talking about, then why are we paying them so much to do these jobs? Like, these people have been studying these things for 100 years and trying to be prepared for situations like this. They've put forth a lot of suggestions, I think, to government in terms of funding healthcare. And it sounds like a lot of those suggestions were just not listened to. And I think that's why we're in this situation. That's kind of besides the point, because we're in the situation already. There's nothing we can do to go back and be more prepared for it. We just need to do what we can now. So what can we do now? Well, as I mentioned, social distancing is the main thing we can all be doing right now. Avoiding large crowds, avoiding going out, interacting with people. I know it sounds kind of shitty, but there's a lot of positive spins you can put on this thing. If you have a wife and kids, enjoy staying home with them. Spend some quality time with your family. Watch some movies. Have video game tournaments or read some books together. Act out plays, do crafts. You can still go outside as well. The outdoors is a great place to be. Go for hikes in the forest, play some baseball, play some hockey, do things with your family. Keep it a close-knit time, and your relationships there will flourish with your kids and with your wife. So that's one positive thing you can take out of this. I'm struggling on knowing what I should be doing in terms of my job and the financial responsibility I have to my family, because I go out to pubs and restaurants and I'm in front of a bunch of strangers in buildings, with anywhere from 20 to 100, 150 people, let's say. And so it's busy. There's lots of germs there. I've still been going out this week and I'm having a hard time with it. I'm battling within myself whether I should be going to these gigs or if I should just shut it down and stay home as well. We need the money. For now, I've been deciding to go to work and just be extra careful. But I don't know if that's best. I'm, in a weird way, kind of hoping the government says, okay, let's shut down restaurants and pubs for a while, keep everybody at home. Then the decision's kind of made for me. But right now, I know I need to make a bit of money for my family. The government has said, I got an email from Justin Trudeau this morning saying that they're going to help everyone financially get through this time. Nobody should be worrying about paying rent or paying for groceries or paying for childcare. They're going to help us. They have money set aside. And who knows when that's going to come, what it's going to look like. But it was an email I got because I guess at some point I signed up for some stupid liberal government newsletter. And so I get a couple a day, actually. It's kind of annoying, but I'm glad I read this one because it helped me feel better that they are trying to do something for us. And hopefully that comes sooner rather than later, and then it'll make my decision easier. Or who knows, if these restaurants start closing down, then I'm at home. I'll start streaming some concerts from my house for you guys to watch. I'll help entertain you while you sit at home as well. We're all in this together. If you think you're funny, start making some Facebook videos of you telling jokes. Have people can sit around and watch you for a while. This could be an interesting time where we can all just cheat a bit and rest and relax, stay with our family, and not worry about the stresses of the other world. It's one way of looking at it, right? And I know a lot of people are struggling looking at any kind of positives from this because it is a very serious situation. And a lot of people out there struggle with anxiety and depression, with OCD. And when they're told to wash their hands, they're probably scrubbing them raw. And this is a very real thing that I think a lot of people are struggling with and dealing with. And so I would hope everyone else could be compassionate. And if you know someone who has a hard time with things like this, reach out to them, say, hey, are you doing okay? It's all going to blow over. Here's what we should be doing. You can still talk on the phone, maybe talk to them every day, and just be there for everybody. Don't always just poke fun at this. I know I've even done it a bit as well, but there are people who are legitimately freaking out, who are legitimately scared for their lives and scared for everybody. And it's a normal feeling. That's how some people are wired. I'd like to think I've got a pretty level head, so I'm not absolutely freaking out. I am worried. I'm worried about my mom. I'm worried about Jamie's grandma. We need to take care of each other. And this stuff with the fucking toilet paper and the sanitizer, with people hoarding it and then going and trying to resell it to their fellow human beings. Like, how sick is that? Shame on any of you who are doing that. It's just disgusting. Like, first of all, there's no reason to hoard toilet paper or sanitizer. You don't need that much. Get a few bottles, take it home. This isn't going to be a couple years that we're stuck inside or being told to stay home. We don't know exactly how long it's going to be. I think a good guess that I've heard is somewhere between 10 or 12 weeks, and this thing will be at its worst, and then it'll start getting better. But who knows? Don't quote me on that. That was just something I heard. But it could be a little while. It's not going to be fucking year. You don't need to overdo it on the stocking up. Make sure there's enough out there for everyone. People who can't afford to buy it at resale out of the back of someone's pickup truck outside Costco. It's just terrible, you guys. Be smart about it. Think about your fellow humans and help each other out. So the concept of social distancing, one main way you can help us get through this. I guess on a more personal level, you can help try and boost your immune system, which leads us into rank something. I don't have the drop set up right now, but Rank Something is brought to you by charitables.com. If you need to waste some time while you're sitting at home, go on charitables.com. See if there's anything there that interests you. Send some money to charity and buy yourself a new TV or a dishwasher or a Nintendo system. Go check out what's up there. They're doing some great things. Thanks, Charitables. And so we're going to rank the top 3 ways to boost your immune system. And it's really not rocket science, you guys. So hopefully this is nothing new to you. But we'll start at number 3 as per usual. And that would be get a bit of exercise. Interesting development. Miss Tara Zorn, who was just on the podcast, fantastic episode. If you missed last week, go and listen to her story. We had a great conversation. Absolutely incredible. Personal trainer, Tara Zorn, just put out a Instagram, Facebook video about how she's going to be leading classes pretty much and showing you workouts online that you can do at home just with body weight. Again, this is something the whole family can do. You can make fun workouts for you and your kids. Just do 20, 30 minutes a day, and this will help boost your immune system. Moving on to number 2, eat healthy. Wow, what a concept. Try and still eat healthy. Have a few cheat days, have some pizza nights, have some chocolate bars when you're watching movies. Overall, try and get some healthy fruits and vegetables. Take your vitamin C, take your vitamin D. Like I said, this is all stuff you guys probably know already. Just maybe a reminder, the stronger your immune system is, the less likely you are to attract this. So, number 2, eat healthier. And number 1, try to get some sleep. We talked about this on last episode as well. Sleep is the most important thing to your overall health and especially your immune system. So try and get a good night's sleep when you can. Again, it's scary times for a lot of you, I understand. Stressful times, even if it's just in terms of business. Whether you're really worried about the virus itself or you're worried about paying your rent or how you're going to put food on the table. If your business is going to survive a layoff like this, try and get some sleep, you guys. I started using the Insight timer, some guided meditations on there. They've been cool. Some good ones, some bad ones. There's some great sleep music on there. If you just need help shutting your brain off, try it. The Insight timer app on your phone. Pretty cool. Just try and get a good sleep, you guys. It'll help. If you guys want to listen to some great podcasts that talk directly about this, Joe Rogan did a fantastic one with Michael Oosterholm. You can find that. I've found it very informative. And Tim Ferriss did an interview with Tyler Cowen, and they talked quite a bit about COVID-19. There's quite a bit of other stuff in there too, which is very good information. But if you go to the time listed in the notes, you can find the conversation about the coronavirus that they talk about. And why should you listen to these guys that I just talked about? Well, because they've spent their entire lives pretty much studying these things, and they know a lot more about it than I do. And I'm willing to guess they know a lot more about it than you do as well. If you think it's some giant conspiracy, if you think this is something intentional, in my personal opinion, I say give your head a shake. And if they come out with a vaccine next week and say, everybody pay us $50 and you'll be fine, then maybe I'll start thinking about the conspiracy thing a bit. But from what I've heard, there's no vaccine coming anytime soon. We need to get through this with social distancing and helping stop the spread of this virus so that hospitals don't get overwhelmed and that everybody can get the treatment they need, whether it's for this virus or other serious illnesses that they have. That's really all I had to say about this subject. I had even thought about taking the week off of the podcasts. I did my 52 in a row for the first year. I was stoked about that. And I thought, hey, I deserve to take a break, have a week off, just to not stress out about doing a podcast, editing it, getting it out there, marketing it. I'll definitely be continuing to do them, but don't be surprised if somewhere along the line I do just randomly take a week off, and I think I deserve it. And I hope you guys will miss the show, but you can always go back and download previous episodes maybe you've missed. So yeah, I'm glad I got to do this. I really felt like I wanted to put something out there for you guys to listen to and understand where I'm coming from. If you have any questions or want to talk about it, I'm very happy to talk about this. I feel like there's a lot of confused people out there, and if you come to them with a stance on it, they're going to go whichever way you kind of lead them. because they're not informed and they're looking for answers themselves. So educate yourself. And if you think you have something good to tell someone, tell them. Tell them what you've heard, what you believe, and who you've heard it from, and why maybe they should take it a bit more seriously like you are. Or if you're on the other side, feel free. Let me know what you are feeling and thinking. I'd be happy to have a discussion with you. So be good to each other. Enjoy some extra time with your family. And if it's just you, enjoy some time binging Netflix, playing video games, reading a book, do some push-ups, eat okay, get some sleep, and stay home if you can. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter yet, go to andrewchristophermusic.com, put your email in there, then confirm when you get the confirmation email. And once a month, you'll get an email from me about my upcoming gigs, about my favorite podcasts I did over the last month, and you get an exclusive song that I record and send out to you guys. So I need your requests as well. If you have a song request, something you would like to hear me sing and play on my guitar, maybe I'll pick yours. I'll put it in the next newsletter and send it out to you guys on the first of each month. So go to andrewchristophermusic.com, sign up for that. Thank you, mortgage professional Rebecca Casey, for supporting this show. And thanks for being an awesome woman. I know you're taking care of your family out there. Thanks to charitables.com. And thank all of you guys for listening to the AC Show. Please subscribe wherever you're listening and rate the podcast. Until next time, take care of yourselves.
It's the Andrew Christopher Show. With Andrew Christopher, your host. It's the Andrew Christopher Show. But really we call it the AC Show. Yeah, we really call it the AC Show. Really call it the AC Show. It's the AC Show. It's the AC Show with AC, your host. Check it out.